Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yo, Black Rose, what's up? Bass Guru, hey.
Welcome back.
Will, golly, we got a crowd this morning. Let's go hydrate. I love this jug. Look at this thing. It's so cool. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite Christmas gifts. Will, good to see it, dude. I love that emote with the little Tyke's car. What is that? That is great. That is fantastic. Alright, I gotta get all my chats connected. I'm a little bit behind this morning, if you guys couldn't tell, but it's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's gotta be fine. Alright, there we go. The old TT is connected. This playlist? I can give it to you. It's on Apple Music. This is just one track, but like your latest show, single player games for that. Dude, I've got a story about that. It's very funny. It's game news related, so we'll get to it. But yes, thank you for watching the latest reel. The last couple of reels have been fun to make. I don't know. I think I spent too much time last year overthinking, is my reel, is this content going to be good? Is anybody going to watch it? And then the last two, I've just been like, it's fine. You just post it. Just post the content, I made a couple of edits that I needed to make. For the Pokemon one, I really liked how I was able to include stuff from the game to illustrate a couple of my points. But for the last one, it was just raw. There's nothing I needed to overlay there. We all know what we're talking about, I hope. Alright, let me delete my own messages from this. VT, welcome. Good to see you in chat. I hope you're doing good. Happy Wednesday. I'm not even going to try to pronounce those letters, but hey, welcome in. Playing Forbidden West, really enjoying playing again. I need to finish. I started doing remastered. Horizon Zero Dawn, the remastered version. I need to finish it. I really do. So I can jump to Forbidden West, but I'd have to pick up Forbidden West. It's so cheap now, though. Everyone should subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Make the alerts go nuts. But anyway. Well, happy Monday, everybody. How are we doing? How's Monday? It's Wednesday. Oh my gosh. Happy Wednesday, everybody. How are we doing? How's everybody's week going? We're midway through the first full week of 2026, and it's going okay. I've had some realizations about myself, and things are looking good. I'm excited for this coming year's content and think, wow, yes, wow indeed. World of Warcraft. No, dude, I don't know, man. I'm so tired. Your dad got you a hamburger? That's awesome. Hamburger. All right. Yeah, we got some game news to talk about today. You're gonna play Jedi Survivor after Forbidden West? Dude, that's awesome. I also want to play Jedi Survivor. It's a game that's just I want to play and I have put off. You know, I just that was kind of the whole point of that reel was I have skipped out on playing games that I've wanted to play on and off stream because I was like, I gotta go grind battle pass levels in Fortnite. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna play Fortnite ever again. I've got to stop letting Epic Games and the Fortnite devs dictate my gaming like schedule and plans. You know, like that's why I made that reel, because I think a lot of people just need a reminder that, you know, you don't have to log in and play the game. It's nothing wrong with it. If you like it, that's fine. It's just I find myself, my backlog keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I've started so many games. Like I've been working on Hogwarts Legacy on Steam, and I got it like almost 2 years ago. You know, and it was crazy cheap, and I was playing it, and now I'm, you know, I don't even know where I'm at. I'm midway through the game, I'd imagine, but I don't know. I might have to start over if I pick it up again. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, though. You know, I just want to play some good single player games. But chat, how are we feeling this morning? You guys tell me. Sound off. How's it going? What are y'all up to today? What you got going on? And we're gonna get into the game news very shortly. Yeah. Coco the Skater, welcome. All right, let's move to news mode, and then we'll drop our volume down. We've got to put the thing into, I forgot what I was going to say. It's gone. I got to record, so I had to do something. Something I needed to enable. Going through the list here. It's fine. It's fine. And news mode should have turned on just as well. So there's that. That's good. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, that looks all good. That looks all good. As long as I stay focused on the browser. Again, for game news, chats, I'm not as responsive to chat unless it's on topic or related to something we just talked about. But feel free to chat and comment on whatever. I'm happy to discuss a few topics here. Anyway, let's get started. Well, happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the Game News Show. We got a few stories this week. It's kind of a slow news week, especially considering that CES is going on. So there's some stuff coming out, you know, from NVIDIA, but they're kind of less focused on gaming than they have been in a long time, right? There is some good stuff around it. We're not really going to talk about that this morning. Sony has filed an interesting patent related to AI, and Lego has a pretty big announcement that could bleed into gaming, sort of. We also have a look back at the most played games from last year from IGN that seem kind of interesting. So let's kick things off with some Game Pass updates, because you know, this is... when I was a subscriber, I like talking about it, but definitely this month, Game Pass is looking pretty awesome. You've got Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition, Rematch is incredibly popular. The original Final Fantasy, which I believe is the Pixel Remaster version. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really sure, but I think it is. And Star Wars Outlaws, Resident Evil Village. Like, this is a solid month for Game Pass users. You know, if you've had any casual interest in any of these games, it's quite a bit coming to Game Pass. That's good. But yeah, this is cool. If I was a subscriber still, I would be interested. Pretty interested in some of the cloud stuff being updated. We may talk about that at the end of the game news, because a bunch of stuff related to xCloud was announced at CES. But let's move to some of our other stories, provided they're actually working. We'll just kick things off with this from IGN. Top 5 most played games on PlayStation and Xbox in 2025 in the US were the same as in 2024. 2025 is a rough year for the game industry. Prices went up for a lot of people. Console prices increased, and then there were just a lot of layoffs, and a lot of things got really really weird for developers. But let's read what Rebecca Valentine over at IGN wrote. 2025 was bursting with really cool new game releases. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Hollow Knight Silksong, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Blueprints, Donkey Kong Bonanza. I could go on. And yet it seems like the vast majority of players, at least in the US, spent most of their time playing the old hits on repeat, because the 5 most popular games on PlayStation last year were exactly the same as the year before. This comes from Circana analyst Matt Piscatella, who shared on Blue Sky today the top 5 most played games in the US on PlayStation for 2025. So, this is our list. Fortnite, Call of Duty, GTA 5, Roblox, and Minecraft. Fortnite, Minecraft, and Call of Duty aren't really a surprise. GTA, I guess, is also not a surprise. None of these. These are like the games, right? This is the games everybody plays right now. The exact same for 2024. Like, this is it. That's all everybody's playing. I guess the order? No, it's the same. It's the same picture. The layout's different on Xbox, with Minecraft and Roblox flipped for 2025, and a slightly more complicated order for 2024. Call of Duty at number 1, then Fortnite, Minecraft, GTA 5, Roblox, but same 5 games. A pretty damning indictment of the current state of the industry, as Piscatella said himself almost a year ago on the Kinda Funny Games cast. This is a fairly recent trend. As he explains, the COVID-19 pandemic prompted a surge in the video game audience, with huge numbers of people playing games who'd never had before. As a result, many of the major gaming markets effectively reached a cap on how many new players they can obtain in future years, because everyone was already there. On top of that, that capped audience is now playing a smaller number of games overall. Some of that is just because games are getting more expensive. More people are gravitating towards live service games they're already familiar with, where they can spend smaller amounts of money for a fun experience on a platform they already own, rather than spend large amounts of money trying new things on new platforms. Which I suppose makes sense. But this is kind of why, like, if you guys follow any of my short form content, this is why I posted the short slash reel slash TikTok last night about stopping with the multiplayer games for a while and focusing on single player story driven games, because there was a time where I wanted to play Fortnite above everything else, and I was putting aside other games. And then there was a time on stream where all I played was Apex Legends, and I did not play any other games in stream or out of stream. And at this point, I am tired of like missing out on a lot of the games that I want to play. I'm so behind on my like game backlog. And it's because these games are sucking people's times away. Now, I'm not saying any of these are bad games. If you like them, you like them. That's perfectly fine. However, Fortnite and Call of Duty being the most egregious of the list here, demand attention so much and require you to like... They are more successful the more attention you give them. And I don't want Fortnite dictating how I play. Or what games I play. And so I've taken a step back, as of this year, taking a step back. We're gonna take a little break from Fortnite. I don't really play any of the other games on this list. I occasionally play Minecraft. It's never had like a hold on me. I do enjoy playing Minecraft. I may play more Minecraft. I don't know yet. However, seeing this list being the exact same for the top 5, this is what like the games industry is dealing with right now. They cannot break free of the grip that Fortnite has, Roblox. GTA is going to be replaced with GTA 6 when it comes out later this year. Kind of a weird sentence to say now that I think about it. But it's this is the problem. You got to break people away from these games that are infinitely playable to play other stuff. I think for me, I just want some variety, and I'm tired of grinding and You know, this is what I said in the video. I'm tired of grinding and having a never-ending to-do list or being punished for not logging in. Right? And so, you know, I just thought this was oddly timed considering the video I posted yesterday, and I wanted to feature it in the game news because we need to look at it. Sometimes we need to be able to reflect on our behaviors and ask questions. Why do I keep playing these same games over and over? They are fun. You know, Fortnite's a fun game. I enjoy playing it. But I got to do something else. You know, I can't just play the same game forever and ever. Think I would love Expedition 33. I think I would enjoy it too. I don't know if it's a stream game for me. It might be an off-stream game. But, hey, Denali, see your hydrate. Thank you. Also, good morning, Brent. Good to see you. All right. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting. Worth sharing. But let's move on. All right, our big story here. Sony AI patent will see PlayStation games play themselves when players are stuck. AI-generated ghost player assistants would help out players who can't progress in a game. I have thoughts and concerns, but Sony has patented a new technology that would see PlayStation games play themselves with the help of AI. As described in patent documents, Ghost Player would see players call down an AI-generated ghost version of the player character, which could either play out the solution to a particular part of the level or complete it entirely. Not bad on the surface. I think, weird flex, Sony. Yeah. Kind of weird. Sorry, I felt that one coming a while back. Alright, anyway. Yeah, so the patent was originally filed in September 2024, but the World Intellectual Property Organization published an internal status report on the patent this week. For example, if a player were stuck on a puzzle in an Uncharted game, the guide mode would seemingly present an AI-controlled Nathan Drake demonstrating the solution before the player did it themselves. The complete mode would simply complete the section for the player. I don't know about this. This is like the assist mode that Nintendo has put in a bunch of like side-scrolling Mario games, where it would like make you invincible and you could just run through the level. But at the same time, this is almost worse because it's at what point is it just I just let the game play itself. I just watch the cutscenes. This is beyond putting it on easy mode, you know, and like just doing the casual sort like cinematic mode so you can do the cutscenes. This is you playing a movie. It's like watching a let's play. Excuse me so much. I'm so sorry. But anyway, kind of interesting. I think I'm just concerned that players will just lean on this instead of playing the games, but I guess if it's an option, it's not a big deal. Modes in games that assist with puzzles and combat challenges are common. Many games will allow players to skip encounters or lower the difficulty if they find them too challenging. Puzzle games often include a hint system for those who are completely stuck. However, some modern Sony titles, such as God of War Ragnarok, have been criticized for giving the player too much assistance with puzzles, due to NPC companions loudly hinting at the solution to puzzles as soon as they begin. They're coming after our jobs as content creators. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, video gaming for you. What's up? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's claimed that the AI model would be trained on existing footage of the game instead of being a pre-recorded series of inputs by a developer. AI generated ghost. Oh no, that spells. Here's a solution, and then it doesn't actually work. Video gaming for you. I'm doing good, man. We're just checking out this AI patent from Sony. I don't really like going over these flow charts. I mean, I guess we could. Game assistance, action card, mode settings, guide mode, complete mode. I like the idea of the guide mode. Like, here's how you could do it instead of just doing it. But I guess it just kind of goes into that cinematic mode. Like, let me just skip all the gameplay. Just show me the cutscenes. right? Like, at what point are we just going to start doing that? Ghost Player System appears to be an evolution of the PS5 Game Help system, which was launched alongside the PS5. When supported, PS5 Game Help could provide players with guidance via images or video via the PS5 card system, which can be called up in-game. While not used widely, the system has been praised by PlayStation fans who enjoy hunting trophies due to the convenience of not having to call up a separate guide on another screen, such as a phone. My kid actually used that feature the other day. Just show me the cutscenes as you. Dang. Wouldn't mind a cinematic mode for games you've completed. See, if I've already beat it, yeah, let me watch the movies all over again. But Sony kind of does alright with the hint system. Yeah, that's exactly what this article just said. The Game Help, which my kid has used to figure out how to do some stuff in Astrobot. I think she pulled up Game Help. It's worth noting that there's no evidence Sony has plans to use this technology in future hardware, and that patents like this have been filed by the firm and many others for years without any intention for use. AI-powered in-game assistants are becoming more common across all technology. Last year, Microsoft introduced Copilot for gaming, which it called an AI-driven sidekick that was designed to be your personalized gaming companion. The system was pitched as a coaching tool for players who are less experienced with video games. That's becoming less and less of a thing because games are so approachable now. One example shown at the time was a Minecraft player asking Copilot for gaming what they could do with wood. Well, the game already kind of does that, though, without AI. Another example shows the player on the Xbox mobile app asking the AI, I want to get back into Age of Empires 4, can you install it? The AI then installs the game for the player and offers to give a recap of what happened the last time they played the game. That last part, a recap, would be great if you hadn't touched the game in a while, right? Like, hey, I haven't played, and I don't remember what I was doing the last time I loaded this save. Some of the Pokemon games on DS did that. You would load it to the game, and it would give, like, a journal recap of the last, like, 7 things you did or so. It wasn't even that much. It was just like, hey, you went to this town and then you fought this gym leader and you caught this Pokemon and now you're here. And it's like, okay, perfect. I know what I was doing the last time I played. Which isn't helpful if you're playing like every day, but if you take a break, an extended break, you know, let's say like a month or more, you might have forgotten. No Minecraft player ever. Oh, cool. I have a new crafting table recipe. Now, what on earth can I do with this wood? Copilot, think for me. Yeah, that part is a bit much. I like the second use case. Hey, install this game and then tell me what I did the last time I played. Oh, sorry. But yeah, I don't know. I am interested to see if they roll this out. I'm interested to see what Copilot and then like Sony's AI implementation actually do for gaming. I wouldn't mind, hey, show me how to do this versus do it for me, but that's me. But I guess the option being there wouldn't be a big deal. I know, like, my wife doesn't like platforming, and so when a game has like a complicated platforming sequence that maybe it hasn't had that level of difficulty before, I could see her using like the play it for me, get me through this part of the game so I can continue playing. That might be okay, but at what point are people like leaning on this and not learning like the game mechanics or getting better at playing the game? And I guess it doesn't matter, it's just video games. But if you don't get like good at some of the mechanics in a game, by the time you get to the end, you're definitely not prepared for the end of the game. That's not every game, and a lot of modern games, it's not really an issue at all. But it's just interesting that we're kind of offering more paths of like ease through challenges than just facing challenges. You know, and I don't know if that's good for gaming or not. I don't know if simplicity is the same as like ease of access, or I guess I don't know how to say it in a way that like maybe makes sense, but I don't know if it's worth dumbing a game down to attract a few more people And in this case, you wouldn't have to dumb it down. The AI could just show you how to do it if you're stuck. And I guess that's a fair solution. You'd have it optimize your chain of memories card loadout. I'm telling you, dude, you got to pick like 3 attacks that you really like and just spam those for the whole game, and you'll be fine. That's literally all I did. That's all I've done. I need to finish that one. We'll get back to playing through that at some point, so I can get through the rest of the Kingdom Hearts series on stream. But anyway, let's move on. Maybe not. Maybe it's not allowed. All right. Speaking of Sony's upcoming Afila 1 car will let you drive with Astrobot or God of War. PlayStation themes will offer custom wallpapers and sound effects from the games. Oh god, no. This sounds awful. Sony and Honda's upcoming Afila 1 car will feature themes and sound cues based on PlayStation franchises such as Astrobot. Will Kratos tell me to turn? Be like, turn here, boy. Like, oh god. Announced at CES on Monday, the upcoming car will offer users the option of having their digital dashboard themed after Astrobot, God of War Ragnarok, and several other PlayStation titles. Themes will include custom wallpapers and e-motor sounds from the games. Sony says it's crafting a unique audio-visual experience that will appeal to gaming fans. The Sony Honda Afila 1 will be released in late 2026, according to Sony and Honda, starting at $102,900. The Origin model is due in 2027, starting at $89,900. Customers interested in the car can currently reserve a vehicle with a $200 deposit. The Afila CES presentation also showed more concept images of the car's remote play integration, which Sony confirmed late last year. I don't know how remote play is going to work. Are you accessing your home console? Yeah, that doesn't sound enjoyable at all. Although they said it offers an enjoyable way for users to play games remotely from their console. Yeah, if your internet's good. If you got good signal and your home internet upload is good. Let's see. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like I said, as long as it maybe like integrates custom GPS voices. Although Astrobot giving me like guidance while driving might be a bit much, because it just kind of chirps and beeps and clicks. That's not going to help anybody. Anyway, this car is getting weirder and weirder the more we learn about it. The PlayStation car. That's what it's going to be known as. All right, let's move on. All right. In a game we haven't talked about in a while, Splitgate devs hit back at criticism. Steam charts don't measure fun. Splitgate 2, which was recently rebranded as Splitgate Arena Reloaded, has been having a fairly tough time of late. The game was relaunched after being pulled back to beta following a hampered and relatively disastrous summer release. But the second wind has failed to generate much traction. In a recent post on social media, the Splitgate developers at 1047 Games addressed the ongoing discourse around the game's lack of success, which typically relies on Steam player numbers to frame a picture of the game's struggles. The developers are saying, as many have before, that Steam's player numbers aren't indicative of the bigger picture. I mean, they show how many people are playing the game at a given moment in time. It says, don't rely on Steam to get your consensus. In a recent post on social media, the discourse around Splitgate Arena Reloaded's inability to generate any hype the second time around, the team said, Steam charts don't measure fun. They show one number, one platform, at one given moment. They don't show the full picture or what it feels like to actually play, and they definitely don't capture the community that's actively helping shape what Arena Reloaded is becoming, including upcoming content like Arena Royale. Over the past 6 months, we've rebuilt Splitgate from the ground up because we believe in the game, our team, and our community. The 1047 team remains committed to delivering the best version of Splitgate possible. To our amazing community, thank you. Your feedback and passion have helped make Arena Reloaded better every day. And to everyone who hasn't played yet, Arena Reloaded is free. The gameplay is the best it's ever been, and we'd love for you to jump in and form your own opinion. A lot of passionate people worked very hard on it. For reference, here's what the Steam charts look like for Splitgate Arena Reloaded at the time of writing. I mean, a few hundred. You know, that's not amazing. You know, they're not doing Arc Raiders numbers, but they're not. There's not zero people playing it. You know, I don't know what success looks like in this realm, right? This statement comes months after Splitgate 2's sentiments plummeted around a miserable launch and a marketing campaign that fell flat in a pretty spectacular way. Concerns about microtransactions and bold statements made by the 1047 leadership team. And on two occasions, layoffs were made that further damaged the company's PR image. Even the game's paid influencer campaign came under fire, with one analyst labeling the effort tone deaf and stressing that it alienated its core audience in pursuit of mainstream appeal. I think one thing that needs to be said here is sometimes people don't need to like look at the criticism of their product, because those Steam player numbers maybe mean nothing in the long term, but in the short term it's a snapshot of the interest in your game on the most popular PC game platform on the planet. And so to say, hey, that's not a big deal, and then kind of clap back about it, I mean, you know, you do have to look like, hey, why aren't people playing our game right now? And is there something we can do to attract people back to our game? Because they had an all-time peak of 25,785. So, like, there definitely was some buzz and interest in the game, and I played a little bit when it was Splitgate 2. I didn't want to learn a new shooter at the time. I wasn't really into learning a new game, but it had some cool mechanics. I don't know. I think I'm falling off of just competitive multiplayer games right now, you know, and this kind of lines up with that. Do I want another live service game in my library that is going to make me feel bad for not playing? Or the skill decay is going to fall off so hard for me that, like, if I don't play for a month and then play with friends, am I going to be trash because I haven't touched the game in a while? You know, all these things to consider. I don't want to necessarily spend the time on it. Right? And I feel like a lot of people have those same sentiments. Like, is this a game that's going to replace my already limited game time? A game in my already limited game time, like my rotation. You know? I don't know if everybody thinks that way, but I just think it's harder and harder to attract people to a first-person shooter when so many exist free to play that are good, really good, and then now, like, this one has some cool mechanics and it's got some great controls all around. Technically it's a fantastic game. I just think it's, you know, you got to convince people to come over here and try your game, and that's harder and harder to do because everybody's playing Fortnite and Roblox. You know, we saw the charts. We know what everybody's playing. So I don't know if the response is yeah, but that's not important, you know, like, if this is the best response. But I think they do need to look at themselves and go, hey, what are we doing to at least have a positive spin on this? As an outsider, shooters seem like the best way to sell a shooter, i.e. not free to play, is to have an excellent story. I agree. I would agree with that. Tight gameplay only goes so far. If you have a compelling story, even Overwatch being purely multiplayer, the lore is at least interesting. If this is arena for arena's sake, okay, cool. Then you're only going to attract, like, your most hardcore FPS fans to the, you know, to the game, and they're probably not gonna hang out very long if they have another established, like, franchise that they love. But anyway, okay, let's move on. Maybe. There we go. Something I found interesting, but Switch's Hulu app will be discontinued next month. If you've ever used the video streaming app Hulu on the Switch, just so you know, support for is ending next month. In a notice on Nintendo's American support page, it's been confirmed the app will be no longer available on the eShop, and support officially ends on February 5th. Hulu's going away though. In general, yeah, the Walt Disney Company previously announced standalone Hulu apps would be phased out in 2026, with subscribers able to access this content via Disney Plus. So it's not that big of a deal. Like, does that mean Disney Plus will be rolled out to the Switch and Switch 2? I doubt. Why put video apps on here? It's a very good game machine. But they're like, this is like the first one to fall. I imagine there's not that many people that downloaded Hulu on their Switch. You know, I could see it going away pretty quickly, pretty quietly, right? Anyway, let's move on. Let's see. All right, I thought this was cool. We'll check out the trailers. This comes from CES. Lego is launching an evolutionary 2x4 smart brick featuring a tiny computer. Rumors suggest it could power new Pokemon sets.
What if you could bring your imagination to life for real? Play with your creations and let them play back with you. Well, that's exactly what we've built.
Wait, really?
Introducing the LEGO Smart Play System.
Oh, boy.
A new platform made of endlessly interactive smart bricks, smart tags,
Seriously? And no way!
smart minifigures. Hold on, so you can interact with the little guys now? All connected to bring play to life like never before. Whoa, was that a burp? These things can burp and react to how you move with dynamic sound and lights.
Holy schnitzel, there's lights.
One brick to turn your Lego builds into an opportunity to create, explore, and unlock your imagination.
Ducks? This is gonna be huge. Huge!
Come play in the next dimension with the LEGO Smart Play System.
Sorry about that, guys. It was a bit too much, I know.
So that's kind of cool. The potential is neat. All right, so let's talk about it. The LEGO has officially announced a new 2x4 smart brick at CES 2026 this week. It's apparently the most significant evolution in the LEGO system since the release of the minifigure in 1978, and is part of the company's Smart Play initiatives. I read this as LEGO's about to get way more expensive. The Super Mario sets come to mind. The one with the gigantic Mario figure with the OLED display for the eyes. Yeah, that stuff ain't cheap. And so I feel like that was the first step for them to integrate like more tech into the bricks. But now it's looking like it's going to get way more expensive, right? The brick, which will be featured in new Star Wars sets launching this March, is expected to expand to other sets. According to The Verge, there's supposedly already rumors about how it could be included in the upcoming Pokemon line due out this year. So what's all the fuss about? As reported by the tech site, this is the most ambitious brick LEGO has ever made, with a tiny computer that fits entirely inside a classic 2x4 LEGO brick. It's a custom ASIC chip and is smaller than a single LEGO stud, with firmware that can be updated via a smartphone app. It's got a built-in battery that will still perform after years of inactivity and can be wirelessly charged on a pad that can recharge multiple bricks at once. That's interesting. When it detects NFC-equipped smart tags inside smart LEGO tiles and minifigures, it will be able to interact with these sets and bring them to life. For example, the new Star Wars sets now support humming lightsabers, light-up blasters, and the roar of TIE fighters and X-Wings. The source goes into more detail about how this new smart brick originally piloted in a LEGO City set in 2024 and how it can enhance play. They have light and sound, light sensors, and inertial sensors to detect movement, tilt, and gestures. They form a Bluetooth mesh network with other smart bricks, so they're aware of each other's position and orientation. So LEGO Star Wars ships and figures can do battle, for example, or so the Imperial March plays when you sit Emperor Palpatine on his throne. When built into LEGO cars, the bricks could detect which one crosses a finish line first, or change from engine noises to crashing sound effects if the vehicle is flipped over. That's kind of cool. I'm wondering how it would integrate into the Pokemon sets. Like, could battling be a thing? Could, there be like some kind of, you can create your own like game, I guess, with these things, like you already would, like a kid would already play with Legos, right? But now there's more like interaction. Maybe there's more rules to like track stats or something. I don't know. I mean, really, it seems like the possibilities are endless, as Lego does and should be. It's still kind of cool to see. I want to see it roll out. You know, how that's accepted, and would it interact with other things? Could it interact with like video games and in the Toys to Life kind of thing, which we saw? You know, Lego had their Dimensions game, didn't last very long, but could this kind of bring some of that back? That would be kind of neat. I think it'd be kind of cool to see. Who knows, though? CES is always a fun time of the year when we get to see new stuff like this come out, or at least get announced. But for our last story, we have, if you were going to pre-order Pokemon Pokopia, you get a free Ditto plush if you go through the Pokemon Center. That's it. That's the news article. All the words are kind of pointless. But if you pre-order through the Pokemon Center, you can get your Ditto plush, which I thought about. I've never ordered from the Pokemon Center before, but I might. That Ditto plush is kind of adorable. I don't know. I'm not a fan of how this game is launching on a key card, but it is a first-party Nintendo game. Second? No, it's first-party. Nintendo owns enough of the Pokemon brand that this is a first-party game. And it's weird that it's on a game key card. But yeah, that's kind of cool. I think there was one other story I wanted to mention. Well, let's not. I don't want to just search the web. I want to be able to pull this up. Let's see. Go over here. Where are we at? While we find it. I should have prepared. I just need a source article. Yo. Rocket, thanks for the heart, me. Okay, it's another news.xbox article, which I should have pulled up. But something I forgot to pull up. We were talking about cloud gaming and Xbox and stuff with Game Pass at the beginning of the show. But Xbox is bringing cloud gaming to Hisense and Home OS powered smart TVs. This is working its way into Google TV as well, I believe. But it's just another example of rising console prices are going to deter people from buying hardware. But if you have a TV that can play Xbox games and the cloud streaming works really well, why wouldn't you do it? And now they're expanding to more and more brands, and I believe Google TV is getting this as well. So that means cloud streaming for Xbox is pretty much available everywhere. I'm wondering if NVIDIA is going to do the same at any point. That would be cool if they did, because then, you know, better cloud streaming would be available everywhere. But I think this makes the case for that Game Pass tier for cloud streaming only. You know, if I can just grab a controller and connect it to a TV, that would be fantastic. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that real quick because this came out of CES as well, where Xbox is expanding cloud streaming. So in lieu of hardware announcements at all, you know, probably for the first half of the year, we're going to probably see more and more platforms supporting xCloud in some capacity, right? And I think it's interesting. xCloud works okay. So this push to include it everywhere may be the play for Xbox to stay, I guess, relevant. I don't know the best way to put it, but anyway, it is what it is. Well, that does it for today's game news, though. That's all I've got. What do you guys think? If you're watching this after the fact, you know, we do this show live, but I do record it and re-upload it later. So if you're watching this after the fact, please, you know, comment on any of these, you know, articles or things we covered, or things you'd like me to talk about on a future episode. Leave a like or dislike, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And thanks for watching. And then we're gonna go close out the live stream. But anyway, that was good. Fun times. I wish I had been more prepared. I was struggling last night, y'all. I stayed up late and then didn't get enough sleep. So I was dragging pretty hardcore this morning. But what's everybody got going on today? I've got work, and it sounds lame. And I would rather be doing other stuff, like playing Final Fantasy. or doing something else. I'm pretty pumped to start to play more Metroid this week. I think it's what we're doing Thursday. I think it's what I'm doing Thursday on the stream. Work? Lame. I feel it, Rocket. Sometimes we gotta. Sometimes we gotta. But all right, well, that's where I'm going to leave the stream. We'll find somebody to send it over to on the Twitch side of things. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Always work. Work, stream, work, stream. Yep. Yep, I feel that. Come on now. Let's see. Who are we sending this to? Bunch of people to pick from this morning. Let's do. Who is Mayo Ketchup? Because I don't know who this person is. We'll do Growing Faith. We'll raid them. All right. Love you guys. Y'all have a great day. God bless. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Thursday night stream. We'll be playing. I think we're going to play some Metroid. That's what I think I have scheduled. So I'm doing that. All right. Y'all have a great day. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for being here.